Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I have my favorite chef on our show, Father Andrew Umberg. Don't you love doing this show?
I do.
And I got to tell you, we have fans everywhere now. I'm serious as a heart attack. Okay, let's move on. What are we going to be cooking tonight, Father?
Okay, there's no theme to this meal except for everything will be good, and that's the only theme, you know.
That's what I love.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly and barbecue.
Oh,
but
yeah.
No, that's not
what
the
we're
thing.
doing.
Well, first we're going to do some Lebanese green beans. I'm passing on this this recipe that I've kind of made up based on other recipes that I've seen, and I liked it. It's a great diet food. It's not that there's no calories. I put a little bit of oil.
Right.
The expression in Lebanese is green beans and oil.
Okay.
But they also add tomato and some spices. So that'll be the first thing. That'll be what the French would call our potage.
Potage.
Because it will be almost like a soup.
Okay.
And it's nice and hot. I like something that's kind of hot and spicy. That I have sinus problems all the time, so it's always nice to have some of the meal, something that I kind of like can have to blow on and
it's like Emerald. It's kind of like Emerald.
Yeah, exactly.
He's your mentor. He's your mentor.
That's right.
It's like,
yeah.
Right. And I was going to meet him this year, too. I was going to get to meet him, but now they canceled the show.
Oh, well.
Okay.
So the green beans,
right.
For the first dish.
Okay.
And then these are going to have all kinds of spices, so we're going to have kind of a course, but it's not much of a course. Just some blood orange slices.
Blood orange slices, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a couple of blood oranges. Not much preparation other than the fact that we'll cut those.
Okay.
But then we'll eat them.
Okay, Father.
And that should get, again, it's not that this will be a bad flavor, but then we're moving to a kind of a French seafood dish, kind of a fancy thing.
Really?
In French, yes. It'll be, drum roll, scallops and lobster.
Wow.
And mushrooms in an herb sauce with wine in it and cream and all this stuff, yeah. So it should be very, very nice. Over Duchess potatoes, or we're going to make a bowl within a bowl of Duchess potatoes.
And what do you consider Duchess potatoes?
Well, I don't know. There must have been a kind of a hefty Duchess at one time that liked
mashed potatoes.
Lots of mashed potatoes with extra butter in them,
but
also onion in them. We'll put green onion in them.
Oh, that's
good. Yeah, it should be really nice.
We do that all the time, right?
But they'll be better with the scallops and the lobster and all this stuff. So again, this is something that I have like once every third year, if that. So this is a rare thing. Okay?
And Lent this is a great dish for Lent.
It is. I think it's a nice one for Lent.
Or any time, actually.
It's so good. It's just, it's more of a special occasion thing. But you could have it at Lent. Although there's one part of it that could be controversial at Lent.
Controversial? What would that be?
Well, I'm putting some chicken broth in the sauce. And in many countries, in the United States, many people have a very kind of rigid idea about, like green beans, you can't have any bacon grease. Now, to me, if you put a ham on a plate with a couple green beans, that would be problematic. But tiny little pieces of ham or tiny little pieces of bacon, I don't think are a big deal. I used to think otherwise. I used to be, no? And, does any of that come from an animal in any way? No way. But now I realize that really it's only Americans that think that. In other countries,
they
don't use that. Now, again, it's one thing to eat a fried chicken. It's another thing to put a little bit of chicken stock in something. And this is just chicken broth. So yeah, we're not overwhelming it. Well, see, the thing is, if you're going to have lobster and scallops, I mean, heck, you might as well wash it down with a steak. I'm just kidding.
She's kidding.
Kidding. Because one is meat and the other is. So anyway, yes, this will be, I think, a good Lenten meal.
Okay, that's good. And you could, if you were really strict, use vegetarian.
We could, yes. You could put vegetarian broth in it.
Yeah, right. Vegetable broth, right. Yeah, okay. So what are we doing first?
Okay, it's my idea that first we have some potatoes that we need to boil.
Okay.
I saw you were
I already
working hard.
peeled them for you.
Yeah, yes, thank you. This is good. This is the great thing about being a TV chef.
Yes,
Is that you don't
because
peel
you
your
have somebody
potatoes.
that prepares the stuff with
Yes,
you.
yes.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. If I
Good.
were, I guess, a real big fancy chef, I'd have a sous chef. That means the under chef. And then you'd
Right,
be the
that would be me today,
Yeah, that would
right?
be you today, peeling potatoes. So anyway, we're going to start boiling the potatoes because we can't have Dutchess potatoes unless they're cooked.
Now, do you want me to? I didn't cut the potatoes up. I just
Let's
peeled
go ahead
them.
and start taking them out. I'm going to get
All
your
right.
pot of potatoes out here.
Okay, so bring them out, and I'll do
Okay.
that, Father.
At my request, you put them in cold water.
I did.
That's a nice way to, if for timing your meal, it keeps your potatoes from
Yeah,
from
they don't
getting
get brown.
Yeah,
brown,
exactly.
brown.
So go
okay,
ahead.
you don't
and then-
mind if I go ahead and cut them
Please do. And I'd say about 3 pieces per potato.
like this?
Well, that's fine, or just 3 slices or whatever. Okay, we'll go a little bit more, and that's great.
Right, why won't that
Okay,
come up?
we also,
That's
I don't know.
funny.
We also have
What?
some water simmering, which
Okay.
you got simmering at my request,
Right. Okay.
which is very nice.
Okay.
You know what? Since we're going to do this in courses, I
Right.
think we'll just set the potatoes aside for just a moment once you cut them.
Yeah.
And just for a little bit, and we'll make our green bean course. This is the type of thing that I don't think every meal has to be in courses, but some of them, like if you're having lobster, you don't want to be eating this very expensive food and have it get cold while you're eating green beans. At least I don't.
Right.
You know, to me, that's a very special, rare moment to be eating lobster and scallops. I
Right.
guess if I lived on the Maine coast, it would be different, but Cincinnati is pretty far from that.
Okay, now, is that,
So we've
are you
got
sure
potatoes
that's
ready to go. All those are fine. We're going to
Okay.
put those in the water once the water gets simmering after we start up the green beans.
Okay,
So
fine,
I'm
Father.
going to put these aside then for a
Okay,
moment.
I want to wash
And then-
these off a little bit,
okay.
Father, if you don't mind.
And then I'll talk about the green beans.
Go ahead.
It's just, I got kind of an extra big can.
Okay.
You know, this is, what, a 10-ounce can of soup is this? Oh, no, that's like a
It's 15 ounces,
15
Father.
ounce can, sorry. And then this, here, I don't have my glasses on at the
It's
moment.
12 ounces, Father. 1 pound. Or 28 ounces, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
28, yes. Okay,
Right.
I was going to say.
Okay.
Okay, so you want more so you could get a little thing of sauce and then a 15-ounce can of green bean, but you want more green beans than the sauce. You
Right.
also really, that would be more Lebanese to have fresh tomato or diced tomato, if you want to kind of make it easier, diced tomato from a can. But I find I like it very much with a tomato sauce, just, a grocery store tomato sauce.
Right.
Nothing real fancy, a kind of
Right,
canned tomato
right.
sauce. So first, we will put some olive oil in a saucepan.
Okay.
I would like to put in, I would say, about 3 tablespoons, because this is a lot of green beans, right?
Yeah.
That'll be a tablespoon
Right.
for each of the 3 people sharing this meal then, okay? So there it is. It's, yes, it's as it's collecting. You know what? I want to make sure we each get our whole tablespoon.
Okay, that's
there
good.
we go.
All
okay.
right. Do you want me to
we'll
turn
put
it
this
on
the
for you,
pan.
Father?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you. And then the next thing, once you get fire there,
We got
you
fire.
Can put, you can put garlic and onion. I'm just going to put in onion today. though.
Because he knows I'm allergic to garlic.
That's
okay.
it. That's it. So I have some onion here. I have some onion there.
Okay.
And in goes the onion.
Now, you want to watch that onion, right?
We do, because we don't want any burnt onion. We just want that oil to get that nice onion flavor in it.
So,
Okay, so, and then once it's there, we're going to put these green beans in that oil.
okay.
Want the sides getting a little oil so we don't get any stuck on vegetables there. Okay, good.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm going to take these green beans and I'm going to just pour them in there. Nothing too artful about that, huh?
All right.
And
You
we
want
can
to give that to
recycle,
me, Father?
okay,
We'll
and then
recycle
good,
that
okay.
right over there. Okay, we'll
Okay.
recycle that right
Good
there.
deal, okay.
Okay.
And then if I can have a rubber spatula, or I'll tell you what, this will work.
Yeah, that'll work, Father. But I
You-
do have spatulas in there, you know.
You don't want to beat up the green beans too much. That's the thing. Okay, but see, because this is green beans and oil after all, we want to make sure that the
Right.
green beans get some of this nice flavor all over them first.
And you could, if you wanted to, you could use fresh green beans.
You could, although
It
I would
takes
recommend
time.
I would recommend boiling them
Of
first.
course, of
By
course.
the time you do that, yeah. And some people's idea, you're murdering the green beans first anyway, so you might as well get them in the can.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And
then what?
we'll let this go a little bit more here. I'm going to put this on here if that's okay. And then, again, I found I like this proportion very much. Just regular
15 ounce.
15 ounces of tomato sauce. So we've got some of the oniony oil, and again, it would be garlicky if it were not the show. Okay.
Okay.
And then in goes all that sauce.
Right.
The whole thing of sauce goes in. And again, no real surprise. It looks like green beans with a can of tomato sauce thrown on them. Okay?
Okay. What's so special? Let's talk about what's so special about it.
Okay. It is special. I love Lebanese food. All my gene pool or whatever within me, my makeup, my genetic makeup is...
Lebanese?
No, it's all Swiss. Swiss,
okay.
German,
Right.
yeah, everything, Think yodeling and sauerkraut.
Have you been to Lebanon before?
I have not. I've been to the Holy Land, as you know. With
I
your
know.
help.
I know. We both have. Okay.
But I have not been to Lebanon. But
Right.
there is a Lebanese Catholic community
Where
in
are they?
Cincinnati, at down there on Victory Parkway. It's St. Anthony of Padua, a Maronite Rite church. So it's a different rite. Catholics out there. They never had Mass in Latin. Parts of their Mass are in Arabic. That would be their language, Arabic. And then when they do the part of the Eucharistic prayer, it's in Aramaic, the language of Jesus. So,
Oh, wow.
so
We should do a show with them, Father. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be neat.
All right, so now you heat that up, right?
Yeah, so it's getting nice and hot. But as it's getting nice and hot,
what are you going to do
I'm
next?
going to add some spices. So I'm going to go over to my spice rack here.
Okay. While he's doing that, you know that you can see the show on the Chef You and I on all the stations and YouTube. So you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere, including all the stations out there.
Okay, and so I have some cumin.
Cumin?
Okay, very important in Vietnamese cooking. No, not in that.
No.
In Lebanese cooking.
Lebanese
Okay,
cooking.
and I'm gonna do a couple of capfuls of this.
So that would be a couple tablespoons, maybe, Father?
I'm gonna say a tablespoon and a half.
Okay. Tablespoon and a half.
To 2 tablespoons. Well, now we ended up with 8 tablespoons.
No,
but
give
here
it to
we
me.
go.
You want to give it to me? Father?
Here, I'll put some of this back in. Okay.
Okay. All
yes,
right.
we'll go. Excuse me.
That's all right. Not a problem. Here. You want me to turn this down a little bit, Father?
Yes, and if you go ahead and stir it a little bit, you can stir that right
am.
in. How nice. Oh, I love the smell of cumin. Did
I
you
do
smell
too.
that?
Yeah, I know.
It's a
That's
very-
what they make Cincinnati chili with, or Cincinnati Skyline chili with.
Okay,
is
and
cumin.
then, interestingly,
And
well,
cinnamon.
okay, yeah, and here's the thing. I'm putting some red pepper in too because it's...
Right. You love red pepper.
Yes.
You
Again,
like to jazz
for
it
my
up.
sinuses.
Yeah, right.
For my sinuses. So, not even a quarter teaspoon.
Really?
This has a shaker, so that was not that much. It looked like a lot, but no.
No,
if
not
we could scrape that all together.
You were definitely Emerald's best
Moderation.
friend. Best friend.
Here, let's flip
Okay,
that over
got
real
it,
nice.
got
Okay.
it. Okay.
Good deal. Okay, and then look at this. I'm going to put a little bit of cloves in. How
Cloves?
about 3 of them?
Okay. That's should be Bam or
Lebanese,
whatever.
Lebanese.
Yeah, Lebanese. Okay.
Okay. Ooh, now it all smells like cloves and cumin. And then I have cardamom. This is my first container of cardamom I've ever bought.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I've never used it before. I mean, it's in curry powder, I think. And I know I've had, curry powder
yeah.
that had it in it anyway.
Well,
Maybe
you
it's not supposed
definitely
to.
haven't opened it yet, so that's a first.
There you go. And we're just going to put a little bit in here. It's kind of a very
Ooh.
fresh scent there, but I don't want to go too far.
You don't want to
with it.
go too far.
About quarter teaspoon.
Okay.
Give her a stir.
All right. And now
then,
what?
so we have clove, and now some cinnamon.
Right, cinnamon. That's important.
Yeah, and this is a typical Lebanese spice mix. Cumin, cardamom, cloves, cinnamon.
Okay. How'd you learn how to make this?
I looked at some recipes, and
Yeah?
again, I follow my nose. I am able to
Okay, so how long do you
figure
cook
out
this
stuff
for,
like
Father?
this. You cook it until it's hot, and then it's ready to go.
Okay. All right.
So isn't that nice?
And we're going to be doing that in a second, and we're going to be serving it so you can see what it looks like. And as he's stirring that, we're going to take a little short break here, and we'll be right back on the Chef You and I with this wonderful dish that Father has prepared. Oh, beautiful smell. I love it. Love it.
We'll see if our producer likes the smell in a minute here of it.
Right.
Oh.
So,
See, and again, that's got, that's a lot of food there.
yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back on the Chef You and I with Father Andrew Umberg and Kathryn Raaker. We're back on the Chef You and I, and Father, it looks scrumptious.
Well, thank you. We put it in this nice bowl, but now we are making, since we're trying to do this as a whole course,
That's cool.
We'll make a nice little serving. Now, I think this is normally a side dish.
Hold on, Father.
A Lebanese meal. But we're each having our own nice serving. And see, all this tomato sauce is so nice there. Yeah, make it pretty there. Okay.
Yeah, because, right, hold on.
That's right.
Do you know that I
classy.
used to work for a Lebanese family here
I
in
did not know
Cincinnati?
that.
Seriously? And actually, I learned how to cook Lebanese Easter dinner.
Ah, leg of
So-
lamb?
Leg of lamb, the whole thing. I mean, I used to watch their children, and it was through Catholic Charities, I think I did it. And that looks delicious. And we have something for our producer, too.
Yes. How about, can we have
Go
a
right
seat and
ahead.
start eating? Or
Go right ahead, Father. Let's
I
try
want
it.
to sit down and chow down.
Okay, so let's do that. We're going to be right back after these important messages on the Chef You and I. We're back on the Chef You and I with Father Andrew Umberg and myself, Kathryn Raaker. And Father, what are we doing now?
Okay, now we're getting ready for our next course. We had our delicious green beans, or I thought they were.
They were awesome, and I couldn't believe the price. That was absolutely the most cost-effective dish I've ever seen.
Well, it was pretty it was substantial. I mean, it's very filling and nice and not too high in calories.
Right.
There are some, I did put that olive oil in there, but
Father, olive oil is actually good for you.
it's good for you, that's true. But yes, it was a very satisfying, what we figure about 75 cents a person.
A person, and you could do 4 to 5 people, actually, if you were using it as a first course, and then a second course and
Yeah, and
whatever.
4 people get a nice portion of them.
Right, that would be great. Okay, so what's the next thing you want me to do, my dear?
Okay, so
Father?
now we have green onions for the Duchess potatoes, and then we have our leeks for our kind of creamy, almost like a broth or a gravy for the
Right.
the lobster and the scallops. So we're going ahead and cleaning up. You're
so-
preparing the green onions. We're going to cut them up to about
You really want that much?
3/4 of an inch into them.
Oh, into the green part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once the other part's cut off. Yes.
Okay. All
And then the leeks will be for the again for the sauce. So this is for to be thrown into the butter for the Duchess potatoes.
Okay.
When we mash them, then so we'll saute those or sweat those a little bit in butter, and then add the potatoes and stir it together, and then mash them together. Add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And we'll do a little bit of fresh parsley
All
as
right.
well.
Okay.
And it should be very nice.
Okay, so let's just clean. I gotta clean this up a little bit. Now, how far up do you want me to go?
Okay, and I'm saying we go about 3/4 of an inch, almost as far as the pure white part. Go ahead and go that far.
Do you want
with
to
the green?
How?
I'll make it nice and oniony. I want us to be able to taste these delicious onions.
How? Like there? Or do you want me to cut it up?
All the way up to bare. Oh, yes. You're almost mincing. Here, I'll show you real quick.
Like
if that's
this?
Okay. Yes, that's good. Yes, yes. The smaller pieces are about what we want there. Yes.
Okay, so you want it like that. Okay. So where do you want it? Right there?
Yeah, that'll do. In fact, maybe
Okay.
I can get a little bowl for us to put
Yeah,
them in.
why don't you do that,
to add
Father,
them.
while
Okay.
I'm doing this? Okay. And you know, I really, really like anything that's really fresh. I love scallions. They're so delicious, right, Father?
Oh yes. I mean,
And you know, I have one of those little things as scoopers in that drawer right there in front of you.
oh, here's another one.
Oh, there's one right there, Father. Makes it a lot easier. So, tell me, by the way, Father's got great sermons. I love going to church at St. Joe's, right?
Well, thank you.
Now, what are
I
we
think
gonna do
you
with
and
the
I
rest
are
of
the only
these?
ones that think that. but
Oh,
okay.
no, that's not true. We have a lot of fans. What are we going to do with those then?
You, that, whatever in the Raaker household you want to do with them. Otherwise,
We can make a
otherwise-
nice onion soup with that, maybe.
Okay, well that's
Okay.
nice. Yeah, so you can go a
And,
little bit further into the green.
oh, well, that's what I wanted to do, but
But yeah, not much further though. So, I mean,
There?
You can go up to where it really splits. Let's say.
all right, now I could get more out of it.
Okay, good. We'll have enough. I mean, we're making it for 3 or 4 tonight. So.
Yeah, so there you go. Now, what would you
Okay.
like me to do next?
Well, I think maybe work on those mushrooms. since,
Okay, and
you
I'm
are
going
a
to show people how you do this, because actually it's really not hard. You don't want to soak your mushrooms. You want to take a damp cloth and you just wipe them off,
And
just like that.
And I have 2 4-ounce lobster tails.
Oh
And
wow!
again, this is like the second time I've bought lobster in my life. I think.
Are you serious?
Outside of at a restaurant. Yes. So this might not be the most intensely expert cooking. What I want to do is I'm going to cook the lobster tails a little bit.
Right.
They'll eventually go in the sauce, but the sauce will heat them up and finish them. But I want to just
Right.
boil them a little bit to make sure I can get them out of the shell of the tail
Yeah.
easily. So first I'm going to rinse them off, and I'm
Right.
going to put them in some water that we have ready to boil. Okay.
He wants you to. The producer would like to, or camera
Okay,
would
I'll go
love
ahead
for
and
you
take
to
these
show
out
it.
and show this. So these are 2
Wow.
nice big 4-ounce lobster tails on sale.
Right.
So
And that's
they're probably
good.
not too long for this world if they were on sale. So I'm going to go rinse
Right.
them off.
So it's good to get them cooked. And you know, lobster is. I love making. I used to live in Massachusetts, and actually we'd get fresh lobster all the time, and you buy them and they're still kicking, and then the next part you do is you have to cook them, and they kind of scream a little bit when you put them in the pot, and I would be screaming probably too, but they're so good. All right.
Okay, and now we have boiling water, so I'm putting the lobster tails into the boiling
kind of fell
water.
apart. Okay.
And we'll
So,
hang them by
you
the
know, this is
tails.
these are so easy, simple dishes that makes it, you know, for your family, especially if there's a family of 4, you could feed them probably maybe with the lobster and I don't know if
And I bought
everybody.
bay scallops, which are a little less. Of course, they're not out in the ocean, so there's a little bit more of a
Right.
dark color to them, and but
It's probably $6 maybe a piece if you're using lobster and scallops with everything, or not. Or am I wrong?
yes, for 4, yes, yeah, $5 a piece, I guess. Really, if you're
Yeah,
doing 4.
$5 a piece. Not
for,
bad.
for the meat itself, for
Right, right.
the seafood itself.
Okay, so
I am happy now that after of course just a couple of.
oh wow,
That's the
that's
lobster.
unreal.
So again, I don't know if they're
Well, when they
would be
turn
completely
red,
done, yeah, but
Yeah.
but I think they're substantially done, and then we'll pour this off and let them cool a little bit, and then we'll pop that meat out of there.
okay, and that it makes it easy. Maybe we should take a little break, and we'll be right back on the Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I, and Father, you're cooking the lobster, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We need to
A little
cook
bit.
them. Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah, those lobster tails, they're 4 ounces. Of course, they're not frozen at all. They were frozen at one time, but
Right.
anyway, we tried putting them in for about 2 minutes, and they were looking so red and so. But guess what? They weren't done enough even for my purposes. I want them slightly rare because they will be in that sauce, and I don't want to overcook them.
Right.
So they need to go back into the water.
Okay, so what I'm doing, Father, is I'm doing the leeks, and I do leeks all the time.
Okay.
So you only want this much, right?
Not even that if you go down a little bit lower. Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
All
right
right.
there.
So you want to go through that leek, right? But you want to cut them like, let me borrow this.
Sure.
I want you to see what I'm doing here. There's a reason. Okay. And then we'll cut this off, right?
Whatever you think, sure.
Okay. But you're going to see something when I pull this apart. See all the dirt?
Oh, so there's dirt
That's
and
the
sand.
reason why.
Here, I'll throw that
Here are
out if you'd
those.
like.
The reason why is that you open this up and you make sure that you rinse it all off, because see the sand? See the sand in it? And actually, when I lived in Britain, I learned how to do this. I love to make leek and potato soup. So this is kind of like that. So you just need to
so I'll
rinse that
it
off.
Okay.
Make sure you get that really done well. He's being my sous chef right now, actually.
There we go.
But everybody, when you're doing anything with leeks, and leeks are really delicious, actually. And you want to be careful when you do that. So just remember, there's a lot of sand in them. So clean them out really good. Okay? Okay, so here, Father, here's the other one. Okay?
Okay, I think I'm going to go in the other direction, too, here real quick.
All right. So it's
if
really
you can
important.
find
So
any.
put them right here, Father, because yours is cleaner than mine.
Okay.
All right, and I'll move over when you get ready to do the lobster, and I'll get another towel that I need. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do with these then is I'd like this cut in half, and then both of these pieces cut in half, and then we'll cut them in a little less than a centimeter on down. So here.
All right, once you do one,
Sure.
or you want a
I'd
big.
like to use that bigger
I know,
knife.
I know you do. Go right ahead. Show me.
Yes, I'm a big knife person. Okay, so I'll go like this down the middle,
Right.
and then I'll go like this diagonally. This seems to me to be
Okay.
safest for my fingers.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll go like this,
Okay.
and then
Okay. I think I have it.
I want to do this one just for fun because I do like chopping.
I know you do. You're a chopper. What can I tell you?
That's right, the human food processor.
Right.
Actually, that wasn't a very impressive speed.
Yeah.
With a French knife, I'm a little bit faster, but this is
Okay.
nice and sharp. And
Okay, so where do you want this to go?
Okay, let's just put it
Aside?
at one end of the cutting board. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and off she goes. And
So one's here, and
I think
hold
our
on.
lobster water is getting hot again.
You think
That's
so?
good.
Okay.
Of course,
All
I
right,
poured
so-
out the lobster water before, so.
Right.
So back in they go.
Okay, there you go. So I'm going to move over here, Father, for a minute,
Okay.
and I'll do this real quick for you.
Sorry.
And okay. One of these days, I'm going to get a kitchen that's really big, so you don't have to fall all over each other when you're cooking on a show. Okay, that's one. That's the next one, and then I love leeks. Leeks are in the onion family, and they are really good, but they're mild. So when I'm making my potato soup, I always add a little bit of an onion to it. Okay.
Okay, and if you'll
What?
get rid of these longer stems
I
because
will.
we don't want those
I know.
as we're eating. Good deal. I'm checking on the lobsters,
This is really good.
and I.
Okay, we'll take out the
Okay.
longer ones, like you said. And I think we've pretty well got it taken care of, Father, for you. So that looks really good. There's
That is
another one.
nice. You know what?
It smells
I will
so
not eat all
good.
those, yes. And guess what? We'll go ahead and keep some of those.
Okay.
Let
All right.
me find a place for those real quick.
Do you want to?
We'll use this. I had some
okay.
onion in this one.
Okay.
And how about if you put about half of that, and we'll get
All right.
those saved because they're precious. Leeks are, of course, they're more expensive than normal onions, and we don't want to.
Right.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit more, like another tablespoon or so.
Okay. Well, let me do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Is that
That'll
enough?
still be a nice amount, I think. Yeah.
What do you want to?
And if not, we know where they are. If we need a
Okay.
little bit more.
All right.
then
So what else do you need me
that'll
to
do
do?
the trick. Let's see. So I think we've got just about everything done there. I think the next thing is we're going to take out the lobster again. Although I don't want to.
They look done now. They need to be that
lobster again.
they need to be that red color.
Sure.
Okay. Do you
Okay,
want?
but
I have an idea. Why don't you do this? Okay. We have one of these things.
Yes, and turn
go
that
like-
over for me.
That looks perfect.
Okay, it is looking much more done. Isn't
See it right here?
It looks wonderful there. It's just down there is a
Where?
little bit trickier.
I don't think so.
Okay. If you think it looks good, then
I think it looks
if you put
good.
it back in, then
All right,
great.
dear.
And what I'm going to do then is
And this
I'm
one,
gonna
let's look
drain
at that
them.
one. That looks fine. You know, it looks weird because you still have the membrane on there. That's
Okay.
why. Okay.
Okay,
That's
good.
why. All right. So that's pretty simple. And, you know, you'll find these recipes up on our website at thechefyouandi.com. And you can also go, we're going to take a little short break while Father's clearing up some things for us. And we'll be right back on The Chef You and I with Father Andrew Umberg and Kathryn Raaker. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I, and Father Andrew, we now have the leeks done. You have the lobster ready to cut up. What about those scallops?
that's a good question. I knew I was going to do something with those. No. We're going to cook them in a minute. But first, we
What?
need to drain the potatoes.
Drain the
so
potatoes.
They're ready to go.
Okay.
Potatoes are here in the hot
And
water. I'm
he's
drain
going
them.
to put them into a
Excellent.
colander. Okay, so butter.
Okay.
Do you need butter?
Yes. How about 2/3 of a stick of that butter?
All right.
So let's see, about,
That's 2/3.
okay, and there we go. So
Yeah, you
just
get
under
really
6
weird with me.
tablespoons.
Right.
Yeah, just under 6 tablespoons. And then we'll
Yeah.
go ahead and
Do you want more?
turn this on.
You did it right this time. That's
Look
great.
at me, that's right, that's right.
Mike,
The
my
80th time,
yeah,
fool me
right,
twice.
right.
fool me
But
80
you
times.
can do this. You can. I have not mastered that yet.
Oh,
to
the whole
take the
idea
pan
of
and go like
throwing
that.
Throwing
Right.
around the vegetables.
Yeah, right. I have to
Or
learn how to
whatever
do
there
that.
is.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are we doing?
Okay, I guess we can put the potatoes into our nice mashing bowl here.
Okay. So do
I'll
you
move
want me
this
to go
forward a
behind
little
you?
bit.
No, you're going to get it. Okay.
I will go ahead and do this, and then
Okay.
here we go.
All
We're
right.
trying to keep these potatoes nice and hot, though, till the time.
Okay.
Now I'm hearing the sizzle of butter, which is good.
Right. It's
Means
coming
our butter
together.
is melting.
It
I'm
smells
gonna-
delicious.
And
And you know, this is really a simple dish, isn't it, Father?
it's not too bad, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I grew up with, my mom was a pinch of this and a pinch of that, and you were too, because I noticed when you cook, you never measure anything. But that's
This is
just,
true.
most cooks or chefs are like that. I mean, when you watch some of these chefs on television, just throw it in, you know that they're similar to what we do here. But we do measure it.
Okay, so
Okay, what's that?
this is the green onion. These are going to be very oniony potatoes. We might be overdoing it a little bit on the onion.
I love onions, though.
Okay, well then there we go.
It's the garlic.
I do too.
It's the garlic I can't eat.
Well, yeah, there's a life without garlic, you need a lot of green onion.
Right.
A lot of green onion to replace that.
Okay.
So what we're doing here then,
And show that on TV.
yes, we'll go ahead and, so the butter is just about melted and we don't have to cook this too long. We're just sauteing these, sweating them, getting them a little bit soft. We don't want them browned at all.
No, that's good.
And you know what? I'm gonna, so the butter is already salted,
Right.
but we want a little bit more salt. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're gonna want.
And I have to go get it for you.
Okay. I
Pardon
will
me?
step back here.
And we're going to, you want the grinding salt?
I prefer the other, yeah, grinding's fine. Grinding is fine, whatever you got.
This is
Okay.
really healthy salt, Father.
Well, good.
Okay. All right.
And again, this looks like more salt than it is coming out of here.
Right.
Okay, and then look at that. Now, I want to add something else. I'm going to add a little bit of half and half because my grandma always would put milk in the potato. And again, these are going to be very rich potatoes. That's part of the thing. Now remember, when you eat seafood, like especially lobster, you have drawn butter anyway. We're not going to have drawn butter, so this is going to be so each person gets kind of almost like their own portion of drawn butter.
You know what I love?
In the dish itself.
This is really good because, people when they were growing up back when, right, they used real butter, real milk, and real half and half. And, I think my kids had a lot of fun, Father, because we lived on a dairy farm.
I have about a half cup of half and half in here now. So there we go. And of course that smells very, of course, how can you go wrong with that? Okay.
All right.
So then what we're doing then is I'm going to go ahead and pour this mixture onto the potatoes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I asked for a spatula before, and that's part of the reason. Well, look at this. We'll get this on here real nice.
All right.
Okay, and would you like the honor of mashing, or were you hoping I was going to do the mashing?
Do you want to do the mashing, or do you want me to do the mashing? I can do the mashing. I don't have a problem with it.
Well, then mash away. Then.
I'll mash away.
And I'll keep this handy.
So when we were kids, this is the way we made mashed potatoes. And when you're from a big family like Father and I were, you better get to the table quick because you might not get anything, right?
Exactly.
Especially if you have brothers like I did.
Yes, it was 5 boys and 2 girls in our
That's
house.
right.
Okay, I'm putting in a little bit of olive oil into our big pan here.
Uh-huh. Right.
Okay, and we're going to use this to saute the scallops and the the scallops and the leeks
And the leeks.
and the lobster
And the lobster.
and the mushrooms. So first we'll put in the leeks, then we'll put in some of the leeks with the mushrooms,
Right.
and then we'll get those all nice and done.
Maybe we should have the
think I'm
cameraman
using-
come over and show what you're doing, Father.
Okay, and I'm
Okay.
going to use the same pan again that I used for just garlic and
Not
not garlic.
garlic.
I'm sorry, there was no garlic in it, I swear.
But
Anyway,
you do usually
we're gonna-
use garlic, so.
Yes, and I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in this pan
Okay.
again.
Okay.
Okay, so I need to have 2 different places to cook here because
Okay. Do you want me to move?
No. I'm just explaining that I need 2 pans.
Okay.
I'll need a little bit of butter here. If you could cut me
Okay.
another piece of butter.
How big, Father?
Let's see. Actually, I'm going to need a couple of pieces of butter. How about that chunk for 1 pan? How about if you
right.
just throw that
In there?
right in here?
Okay. And how much
then-
do you want for the other pan? Half?
Just a third is enough. Yeah.
A third?
A third. Yeah.
Okay.
So good. So we used 1 1/3 sticks of butter. If you go ahead and put it right in there, then right
Okay.
with our olive oil here, and that's about, I'd say about 3 tablespoons again
Okay.
of olive oil, maybe just 2 in here. Okay. So and now I'm going to put the leeks in.
Mm-hmm.
I want 1 for the sauce and 1 to cook the seafood and the other things in.
Wow.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Oh, I did the wrong one again. Look at that.
Well, it's not hard.
Okay.
I want to use the other part of the
Obviously, I
microwave.
messed that up.
You got it?
Okay.
Okay,
good.
so how much do you want me to keep on mashing here?
Let's stop there and let's keep these together then. Now, this is a little bit light. Where, this will make, they could be a little bit more buttery.
Do you want more butter?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put a little bit more butter in and sure.
Do you want me to melt it first?
Here, I beat you to the punch here.
Good.
We'll just pour some of this
In
of
there.
what I've been doing,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Okay, now that's
All
good
right,
enough. That's
I'll mix
decadent
it.
enough.
That's beautiful, Father.
Good, good, good.
All right.
And then I'm going to put in some of the leeks into each of these, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that what you want, actually? That looks pretty good, Father.
I think it's wonderful. Heap them all together to kind of keep them hot.
Okay. I'm doing that.
Good, good, good. And now I'm going to go ahead and start. Since I've started, I have a little bit of butter that's still not melted, but I have my leeks in there, okay?
Okay.
And then in go the mushrooms.
All right.
The mushrooms, I want to make sure they're a little bit tender. And then, yeah, this is going to come together very quickly. I'm going to go ahead.
And cut that?
Yes, yes. And the leeks on here I don't think will hurt anything. So
No, I don't think they will either.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up a little bit. These are the lobster tails. Two lobster tails. Didn't yield a ton of meat, but again, I bought a whole pound of the bay scallops, okay?
Oh, okay.
And so we have these now. I'll open these.
Right.
And I better check what's going on here real quick.
Here, you want me to watch it? Okay.
That would be great.
Okay.
And if we can turn this down a little bit, maybe I should turn both sides down a little bit.
Yeah, I think so,
especially
too.
since that one's on high.
This is...
Okay, and then...
You want me to open those for you?
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
I'll open that up for you. Gosh, they make it tough, don't they? All right. I can really smell these guys. Okay, Father. And what do you want now? What do you want to do with them now?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's rinse them off real quick.
Okay. Do you have you have that colander right there, right?
I do, yes. So.
Okay, I'm going to walk over there with it, Father. Hold on.
Okay, I'll get out of your way.
All right. And then you want me to rinse them off?
That would be great, yes. So Kathryn's rinsing these off. Meanwhile, see these mushrooms. Some mushrooms seem to cook down pretty quickly, but these, not so. We still want some firmness to them at the end, so I don't want to murder them. They're coming along. They're coming along nicely. This is just, again, a little bit of olive oil and some butter and some leeks, right?
Right.
I want a little bit of salt in both of these because
Okay.
I think that helps break down the vegetables a little bit more quickly. Again, that's not much. That's not even a half teaspoon total there that I just did. It just looks like a little bit snowy. Let's put them in there a little bit longer. Okay, and so now what I need is some all-purpose flour.
Which is right there,
which
Father.
you have so nicely gotten together for me.
It's 3 tablespoons.
I'll turn the heat all the way down. Remove this slightly from heat. Well, I can do this okay. So I'll do a heaping tablespoon and another heaping tablespoon. I'm going to kind of make a white sauce here.
Similar to what you do for cream of tuna or any kind of a cream dish, right, Father?
Correct. Okay, and then if we go ahead then and let's throw the lobster and the scallops in there. And I'll turn down the heat a little bit more. But isn't that nice? Isn't that pretty? Okay, now here, of course, like any white sauce, I want to make sure that I can't see any bright white flour. You know, it all has to have some of that fat absorbed into it, otherwise you get lumps. Okay, so now look at that. We have this now, and now I'm going to turn this on, up the heat back up a little bit, start to heat it, and then I'll take the half and half, and I'm going to put in, this is a pint, right? So I'm going to put in just maybe a cup. It's going to be kind of a thick white sauce, but we're not done yet, so there we go. So at half and half, it could be heavy cream, but it's just white sauce. So this half and half, there's still about this much left. We put a little bit in the potatoes before. Okay, and then something I forgot to do is I want to get a little bit of parsley.
Right.
Can you rinse this off and then we'll stir that into the potatoes?
Sure.
Well, maybe put a little bit of this in our sauce as well.
Okay.
Okay, of course now, what I want to do is bring this to a boil, but while I do, I'm going to add a little chicken broth to it because I think the chicken broth tastes nice. And we want a nice bunch of sauce there. So I'm putting in about a cup of chicken broth, okay? That's not quite a cup. There we go. Okay. I think we're a little closer to a cup there. And again, okay, so we've got our seafood cooking. It's just about together. Oh, okay, I'm putting the wrong thing on the wrong.
Is this what you want, Father?
That's wonderful, and I maybe should have sauteed that in there. Throw a little bit in our sauce here. Well, no, throw it with the seafood if you would.
And this
Throw half of that with
there.
the seafood and half of it into the potatoes.
Okay. Okay.
Give it a nice stir. Okay. So now I'm heating this up. Stirring constantly, of course. I like a little bit of black pepper, although I don't want to
I can get you some.
I don't want to be vulgar and overdo the black pepper.
No.
I have a tendency to over pepper things. Now look at our wonderful seafood and mushroom mixture now. And the seafood is starting to get done. Look at how nice that is. Again, if it's not done, that's okay. We're going to have some very hot sauce. I mean physically hot, not spicy hot. And then you've got the pepper. Good, okay. I'll throw the pepper in. A little bit of that pepper here and there.
You don't need any more flour, do you, Father?
No, I don't. Thank you. Okay. Now, I'm not expecting 5 stars from any French chef, but I'm sure that this is going to taste nice at the end. So, again, now I'm turning over the scallops and making sure that they're getting done. And they are, of course, and they're getting filled with this wonderful flavor. Okay, and then I need my fine herbs.
Pardon me?
So these are fine herbs. Okay, I have boilage here. So I need to stir this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And since they're all coming together, I'm not real scrupulous about where I put the fine herbs, okay? But again, this says fine herbs. That would be fines herbes in French. And it's always 4, it's my understanding that it's always supposed to be 4 things. It's chives, tarragon, chervil, and parsley. And that's the rules, apparently, of making fine herbs. Of course, lots of herbs are fine, but anyway, so I'm turning our seafood way down. I'm making sure we boiled the starch out of our white sauce here. See, it's a beautiful white sauce, but we're going to make it thinner. We're not serving it in something quite this thick. Okay? And now I will add, about 1/4 teaspoon. Again, it looks like a lot, but it really doesn't come out very quickly. Maybe a 1/2 teaspoon total. These are, they're not a very strong flavor, so I'm not worried about killing us with a fine herb. So I'm going to go up to, close to a whole tablespoon, okay? And then, okay, we've got this. And now, what I would like is my cooking wine. I bought a little bit of cooking wine. Again, this is fancy, schmancy
It's right
stuff
here, Father.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some of that. Oh, we have this. Again, it's not a corked wine. They say Sauterne is usually the French cooking wine.
Right.
There we go. I think God gave me. Okay, and I'm putting some of that in here.
Right.
And I'm going to put a little bit, I'm going to get our seafood a little bit drunk too.
Okay.
There, okay?
Thank you, Father.
So I put about half of that in. I'm going to put a tiny bit more, please.
Okay, right.
Okay. Okay, so now we have this wonderful sauce with the herbs. See, at first you think, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. But you stir it in and look, it's a nice, beautiful, creamy sauce. And we have more liquid in here from the seafood. So I will go ahead and turn this back up a little bit, the seafood, and I'm going to go ahead and add this delicious sauce to the seafood. This is probably, it's a rather rich dish, but again, it's nice to splurge every now and then. And if I can have the spatula, if that's around still.
Just a minute. It's right in here. Here, Father, here you go.
Okay, we don't want to waste any of this nice sauce. Okay, so again, it has leeks, it has butter, it has a little olive oil, it has flour, and then it has some chicken broth, about a cup of chicken broth, a total of about a cup of cooking wine, right? And there it all is together. Okay, and I'm confident now that the...
So do you want a nice serving dish, Father?
Yes, we need, we're going to do this individual serving dishes.
All right.
But here, if I can put this on the counter again, though, and show how much liquid there is here now. It's just wonderful, I think.
We're going to do it right here, Father.
Okay, and I want to show this off. Hope I won't melt your calendar. See, so despite all that thickening we did, look, it's a nice now.
Oh, it's
it looks
beautiful.
like a hearty soup now.
Right,
Okay?
right.
And let's see, if I can have a pot holder or something like that, I'll put it down on the plastic.
Right, hold on. See this
Okay.
wonderful thing right here, Father?
Look at that. It's a schnecken of sorts,
Oh,
okay?
say.
It'll be a little bit of a delicate balance
Or you can put
there.
it just directly on this, Father, if you feel better about it.
I would.
Okay.
That's probably the better way. Okay,
Right.
so, see now again, I'm stirring this around. These scallops, there's no escaping the heat now for the scallops. But I'm making sure, I want to make sure that they're soaking in this steaming, almost boiling hot liquid long enough that so no one gets, a
Right.
piece of scallop that, we
Right.
don't want to turn them to rubber either.
No, we don't. And you want to serve this on top of the mashed potatoes, am I correct?
Yeah, the idea was, here, I'm going to go
Right.
ahead and try this real quick, okay? I'm
Go
going to
for
take
it.
some of our still hot mashed potatoes.
Right.
Again, it's a nice portion of the potatoes, okay?
Yeah.
And we're going to move them into a little bit of a
Circle leg.
circle or a bowl within a bowl almost, okay?
All right.
We'll put
That
that on there
cool.
real nice and,
Oh, I see what you're doing. That's really nice.
yeah, and we'll put them around the edge a little bit, okay? And should I make 2 servings now or just one?
Yeah. Make 2. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's one, and we'll go. See, and we want to do this right before we serve it. We want everyone to have a nice, hot, delicious bowl
Right.
of potatoes. And even if our potatoes have cooled off a little bit, well, we've got a big piece of
Sorry about that, Father.
leek or something there. Okay,
That's all right.
good.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
good.
It's going to be fine.
Okay, yes.
I like it.
I'll be happy to eat it myself.
Okay.
And-
Vegetables are good for you, right?
That's right, that's right. Might
Okay.
be the only fiber in this whole dish, so that's good. So anyway, good deal after
Okay.
our 8 pounds of butter. But remember those green beans we ate.
Right. There was the vegetables
Okay,
as
there
well.
you go. Okay.
Okay. So now what are you going to
So
do
I'm
now?
stirring this around, and then I'm
Okay.
going to put this hopefully delicious mixture.
Why wouldn't
on
it be
top.
delicious? All right,
Okay.
that's one.
So everybody gets some lobster, everybody gets some scallops, everybody gets.
Right.
So again, we can have 4.
Actually,
rather-
4 out of that.
Yeah. I'd say 4 nice
Right.
helpings. I can put a little bit more in here, I think.
Okay.
We want to. I don't want to skimp anybody. There we go.
Okay. And then let's put that right there. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. And that was really simple. Right. We're going to take a short break and we're not? What are we doing? It's over? Father,
Okay.
guess what? We've
almost
run
out of
out
time.
of, believe it or not, we have run out of time.
Well, there you go.
And you know what? We're going to enjoy that along with our producer. And what do we want to say?
Well,
Bon appetit.
Yes,
Bon
yes.
appetit. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. And now I'll have to do this penitential act of
Eating
eating
it.
all this
Right,
lobster and
right.
scallops.
So
I'll get by.
this recipe that Father made will be up on our Chef You and I Show website, which you can print out the recipe, Father.
That's great. And salt and pepper to taste. You might want a little bit more salt, maybe a little bit more pepper.
Right.
I'm Mr. Pepper, you know. So
Well, I am too. So we want to say thank you so much for bringing all these wonderful recipes to us and to our audience. And we want you to try it. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy, actually, and it didn't cost a lot to do it, did it,
That's
Father?
right. I just made it look hard, but anyway, no.
No,
it was good.
not
It was good. It was
really,
good.
not
It was
really.
good, and we have to have our little blood orange to,
Right, we'll have that
still
with
have the
dessert.
green beans, yeah, there we
Okay.
go. Perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us on The Chef You and I. And Father and I want to say bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
And we'll see you next time on The Chef You and I.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.